My name is Abby. I am here in my very messy room today to give you a review of the trailer Split by M. Night Shyamalan. To start off with, if you've seen the trailer, you know that it's about someone with multiple personality disorder. Now, I have seen, and I'm going to say spoiler alert for the next 20 seconds because I'm basically telling you what the plot is of the movie. I've seen Psycho, Fight Club, Sybil, Black Swan, Hide and Seek, The Three Faces of Eve, The United States of Terra. I've seen documentaries. I've seen there was a movie based on a book written by a person who actually had DID. I've seen many movies about dissociative identity disorder, or as some call it, multiple personality disorder. So my review of this trailer, I think it's awful. Awful. Before even getting into the logistics of how awful the portrayal is of the mental illness dissociative identity disorder, and without even getting into that, you see the entire fucking movie in the trailer. Like, I'm not sure what's more to see. Like, you know the entire plot if you watch the trailer. So that kind of pissed me off from the get-go. Secondly, when I heard that there was a movie about DID coming out, I was super excited. I was like, oh my goodness, some representation. This could do a lot of good for the DID community. And then I watched the trailer. So, if you've seen the trailer, you know that the alters, as they refer to them in the movie, or personalities, they all work together to commit this premeditated and truly horrific crime. Like, it's just awful. And they're working together all to a violent end. And so when you're talking about DID, that makes no sense. A person with DID is so much more likely to hurt themselves before they hurt anyone else. People with DID, they are known for having, chronic self-injury problems. They're known for having chronic suicidal ideation or suicide attempts. Like, this is a known research, backed up thing. People with DID are no more violent than the general population. And so actually I'm going to read a quote right now from one of my favorite resources on DID. It's called didresearch.org, and I will have all the links down below. So their quote is, "Like other mentally ill populations, those with DID are no more likely to be dangerous or abusive than anyone else. However, DID forms because of chronic childhood trauma, and individuals with DID are highly likely to be re-traumatized, and so become further victims of abuse, as in a domestic violence relationship or any sort of abuse. We're more likely to become abused than the abuser." Sorry, I cut her quote off there. Their quote off. I don't know the gender of whoever runs the site. "Contrary to popular belief, it is not common for those with DID to have an evil ulcer." Right there. Honestly, the trope is tired. It's boring. It's done. It's been done. Psycho was released in like the 60s, and it's 2016. You're not making anything fresh. You're not making anything we haven't seen before. You're just doing a gorier version of it. on to my next point. So some of my favorite parts of the trailer, not favorite as in I enjoyed them, but favorite as in they really gave me a laugh, were the quotes from the psychologist or psychiatrist. They didn't mention specifically which it was. So the first quote that I got was, "I've never seen a case like this before. 23 identities live in Kevin's body." It's so ridiculous because A, if you know anything about dissociative disorders, you know that there can be any number of parts. And so again, referencing back to didresearch.org, I have a quote to support what I'm saying. Research suggests that males average 12 alters and females average 15 alters. However, systems can range in size from 2 to hundreds of alters. Although in very large systems, it is unlikely that all alters will front frequently. Instead, alters in large systems are likely to become active mostly when needed or triggered, and they often present in pairs or in small groups. End quote. 24 isn't uncommon. You're just uneducated. So the next quote that I really got a laugh out of was the psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, says, "An individual with multiple personalities can change their body chemistry with their thoughts." And this is paired with an image of the actor kind of doing some weird muscle movements, like he's moving around unnaturally, and it makes it seem as though people with DID can just magically transform their bodies. I'm sorry, it's not like that. I mean, certainly there are people with DID who some of their parts may have allergies that they don't, or they may not have allergies that everyone else does. Some may, need eyeglasses or others don't. Some may have different resting heart rates, and actually I've looked into that, and we actually all have different resting heartbeats, which is slightly interesting, I think, anyway. So I just thought that was so absurd, so ridiculous. Come on, this is a mental illness. This isn't something to be treated like it's just a joke or we can make fun of it. People with DID are so stigmatized already. We either are thought to be faking, crazy, just totally delusional, or evil, and have that violent alter that's going to pop out and kill everybody. But none of these portrayals are fair because none of them are accurate. I mean, they don't describe the majority of people with DID. The majority of people with DID are just people who've had really, really bad cards dealt to them, and they're just trying to recover in the best way that they know how, given all of the symptoms that come with DID. And it's just so painful to see yet another media representation of DID where we're the bad guys, we're the killer, we're the ghost in the closet, because we're not. Honestly, if we're in the closet, we're scared and we're hiding and we're crying because we're having a flashback, okay? It doesn't work like that. So, thank you for listening to my review/rant about the upcoming movie Split by M. Night Shyamalan. This will hopefully be the first of many videos on dissociative identity disorder and other dissociative disorders. If you like my video, feel free to subscribe for more DID stuff. And yeah, I would appreciate hearing like your comments, your feedback, like what you thought of the trailer, totally down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you have any questions for me, either be it my experience with DID, what I think about the DID movies that, sorry, are spoiler alerts, so we won't say the titles again, but what I thought about those, because many of those I have a good opinion on. Yeah, anything at all, just leave it below, and I really appreciate you watching this video. Have a good night, guys.